Hello and welcome to another Talk to Stu video with me, Stu Magoo. So this is another update for Universal Credit, specifically people that are claiming the ESA component of Universal Credit, and also I'm going to talk about some of the pitfalls that you can fall foul of in the carers component of Universal Credit as well. So first of all, changes to ESA under Universal Credit. So ESA previously was a separate benefit to Universal Credit, and some people still are on ESA in the old system. Most people by now have been ported over onto the Universal Credit system, and all of those people obviously that were on Universal Credit will have benefited for that £20 a week uplift. Huge benefit, and that was put in and then taken away, probably too soon, or should never have been taken away. You know, it's fairly obvious. But of course, everyone who's on the old system, they didn't get that uplift at all. So think what you want about that. But anyway, if you're on ESA but the Universal Credit side of things, what's changed recently? Well, the big change is to the special rules. So previously, special rules meant that if you had a terminal health condition where you had a prognosis of less than 6 months to live, could be fast-tracked through your benefit application, and you wouldn't need to go through filling out the work capability form or having the work capability assessment. You would just go straight into the support group, which sounds reasonable on the face of it. However, in real terms, getting a GP or a specialist to give somebody a definitive length of time that they're expected to live is quite hard to do. They will do it if it is very certain, but in most cases where people have been diagnosed with a terminal health condition but are still undergoing some kind of treatment for it, say in the case of some types of cancer, it might be that their lifespan could be prolonged by that treatment. In addition, there are other elements where conditions that we don't know much about, for example, where specialists and doctors are just going to say, well, we just don't know because this is fairly unusual. So there's lots of reasons why a GP or a specialist wouldn't put their name to a document, signing a document for benefits that would say a person only had 6 months to live. So many disability campaigners out there have been pushing for this to be completely scrapped. That's obviously what they want, because at the end of the day, if you have a terminal health condition, you've got a terminal health condition, whether you live 2 weeks or 2 years. It's not really that important, arguably, at the time. So in response to that, the government have decided to increase the length of time that a person might be given a prognosis for from 6 months to 12. So I think most people straight away can see that there's going to be a lot of problems with that. It might improve things a little bit for some people, where certain specialists and GPs might be prepared to stick their neck out and say, well, yeah, okay, 12 months sort of thing. That's fine, where they wouldn't if it was 6 months before. But generally speaking, the majority of people aren't going to be hugely benefited by this. Why am I telling you? Well, it just kind of gives you an idea, if you are in that position, that that's something that you could do. But of course, if you're not in that position, it also gives you an idea of how the government choose to respond to the concerns of disabled people and people with terminal health conditions and their carers. So there we go. Whatever your political affiliation, I'm sure you can agree that that's not really great in the way that they're doing that. Okay, so the carers element of Universal Credit. So sometimes I get asked how do I do these videos in just one take? You know, I just do it, and I just say it all off the top of my head. What people don't realise is I do like a million first goes trying to get through it, and often I stumble what I'm saying. So that's why this is edited, and yeah, so hopefully this time I'm going to get it right. Anyway, the carers element of universal credit. So if you're caring for somebody for more than 30 hours a week and they're in receipt of personal independence payment, attendance allowance or children's DLA, then you will be able to apply the carers element to your universal credit claim. However, you must make sure that the person that you're caring for already has this benefit in place, because if the carers element is applied before that's in place, and say you're in the process of applying for that with that person, it might be your child, you might be in the process of applying, and yes, on the face of it, you are caring for them for more than 30 hours a week. However, that needs to be proven to the DWP that that child or adult that you are caring for is disabled. So if you're going through that process, or maybe you haven't started that process yet and you're getting the carers element, then it's going to be that you're going to have to pay that back because you haven't got that in place, or it's not in place yet, sort of thing. So if you haven't applied for the person that you're caring for, then make sure you apply for it, and quick, and get in touch with the DWP as soon as you're aware that there is what they call a change in circumstances. So in this case, it might be that you haven't that you've had the carers element put in, but you haven't actually got the AA, DLA or PIP in place. So that is something worth checking. I very recently had a client who fell foul of this, and so that's why I brought it up. And I mean, they were, you know, quite happy to pay that back, and luckily it was caught early enough so that there wasn't really much to pay in the grand scheme of things. So do check, if you are getting the carers element, that the person you are caring for has that benefit in place. Okay, so that's it from me. I managed to get through it that time. Hopefully I'll get through this next bit as well. That's it from me for this video, but I will be back again very soon with a video on how to actually manage the kind of mental health side of things whilst going through universal credit, and specifically how to deal with either job coaches or people that you're speaking to on the phone and get the most positive results out of those contacts that you have with them. I will do other videos related to more specific things about the universal credit bureaucracy and any changes that might be coming up in the near future. So do like, share and subscribe, most importantly, and as always, please share your experiences in the comments below. It does help people out if you do that, and as always, please keep the comments and stuff civil. Any you know, odd comments in any way are likely to just be removed, if not by me, then probably by some algorithm somewhere, so just don't bother. So yeah, but thanks again for watching, and I hope this video was useful to some people, and yeah, also let me know if there's anything you want me to do a video on. I'll quite happily cover any topic. So thanks very much. Bye.